Hello again everybody, I'm CS3, and welcome back to another Minecraft Redstone tutorial. And this is the long-awaited Insanity 2x2 Flush Door tutorial. Now before I show you how to build it, I'm just going to let you know that this is a very improved version. The old one was messy, it was sort of just a prototype, while this one is a lot better. So here is the result. As you can see, it is able to remove 4 glass blocks, like that. And the dimensions of the old one for the redstone was 7 times 12 times 16, while this one here is 5 by 10 by 12, which means that it's less than half the size of the old one. Now, you might have noticed already that this one is slightly slower. Now, this here is a little bit modified, and it fixes that for you. However, you will need to send a 6-tick pulse in instead of a button click, so it's basically making it a little bit faster. And so you can decide however you want it to be compact, like this, or you want it to be a little bit faster. But as you see, when I click here, it's a little bit faster, and this one is a little bit slower. So it's not a very big deal, but I will show you how to modify this one a little bit, and so that you can add on a 6-tick pulse instead. And I also took the time to color code it, so when building it will hopefully be a little bit easier to understand. Before I build it, I'm just quickly going to let you know that this is not orientation or coordinates dependent. This can be built anywhere you want. Okay, now let's get started building it, and like I usually do, we are going to start with the pistons. So I like to start 1 block above ground, so that it's easy, but obviously you can decide to dig or build it in the air somewhere like the one over there, but I'm going to do it like that for the tutorial. Then you want a 2-block space between, and what this is the bottom part of what's going to pull the walls down on the sides and let the pistons behind be pushed in the glass block. So when I'm building it like this, the hallway will be this way, and if you wanted it to be this way, then you would need the pistons to be here and here. Now, also like I usually do, let's build a frame so that it will be a little bit easier to see how this is going to turn out. Then I want to extend the floor and the walls and stuff 5 blocks out, because this one is 5 blocks, 5 blocks deep. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's do the same with the roof and the walls. Obviously, you do not want to put walls here, because these blocks here are going to be the wall. Okay, now let's do the remaining pistons. So you want to put pistons up here as well, just like on the bottom, with the wall blocks, and on the other side. Now let's put the double extender in place. So we're going to come out 3 like that, and then put a double set of pistons here, 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 and here. So now, as I said in my original Insanity Door showcase video, this is the challenging part about the door, that you will need to make a double extender like this that can be hidden here, so it can only be powered from this side and from here and from the bottom. And trying to make that compact can be quite difficult. So now let's do that on the other side as well. Come on, 3, put in the double extenders, like that, and then the piston and the glass box. Okay, so those are the main pistons. You will be needing a few more pistons in order to transmit power, but I will do that as we go along. Okay, now let's do the input block. So you can obviously put the input wherever you want, but it's very efficient to put it right there. So put your button here, and let's go on. So I'm going to take redstone from behind this input block, go down one, and go around like that, put redstone all on top, and a one tickler repeater going to a block with a torch on the end. And I should probably mention that the white circuit is what's controlling the wall pistons. These four and these four. Okay, so this torch is going to lead down into redstone down here, which is going to go into a repeater and another one, going into blocks, which will go into redstone on the other side, going into repeaters. So you might notice that these two sides are one tick offset, but as you can see, that's no big deal because they simply are. And that's how it's going to have to be. Now let's wire this up. Or actually, before we do that, wire it up to the top, we want to lengthen this pulse because when we press the button, then these pistons are going to retract. And when the button is released, they're going to re-extend. Now we want them to wait a little bit before extending again until the extender is retracted. And so we want to come down here, put a 4-tickler repeater, block, and then redstone over 3 blocks. And then you want to build a shape like this, with redstone on here, on this corner, and then 4-tick, and 4 ticks there. So now, if we press the button, you can see that they go down, and then they go up quite a while after. Okay, now let's get the signal up to these pistons here. And it might seem a little bit inefficient, but trust me, when all of the other crap is in the way, then this is the way to do it. So we want to bring a signal from this block, from this torch. It's going to send power into this block, into this redstone, up, through the glowstone, up on top of the glowstone, up here, through the glowstone, up there, and then up over these pistons, and then finally, oops, all the way over here. So, as you can see, we're pretty lucky here. The signal just reaches, so that's good. Okay, so now, if we press the button, they open and close like that. Now, one thing you can do if you want it to be looking a little bit nicer is, as you can tell, the top is going one tick before the bottom. And also these two are going at the same time, while the bottom ones are not. And the way to do that, if you want them to be more symmetrical, is to put a one tickler repeater here and here. So it doesn't matter, I'll just do that now, but you can do it however you want. Okay, now let's do the extenders. So we'll start with this side stubble extender. So we're going to get a pulse, or a signal, from here, bring it up, and 2 blocks out like that, through a 1-tickler repeater into redstone dust, which is going to be powering this piston with a block in front. And that's basically going to provide an update to the bottom pistons, here, because it's all being powered from above. Then we want to take it through this piece of glowstone, or up on top of it, up onto one more piece of glowstone, and along here. And we want to give updates to the bottom pistons using redstone lamps. Now the reason we're using glowstone here as well is because we want this pulse to be lengthened, and we want to do that by doing a 4-tickler repeater going in here. And the glowstone prevents the power from going back down and into a loop. Then we want to go out here into a 2-tickler repeater, which goes into a block, one step up, one step down, and then into a square of redstone like that. Okay, so now if you had redstone on top of here instead of this repeater, then you would obviously need to block this off. So now that's going to do most of the extending and retracting, but we need to add a monostable circuit to provide the final signal to these pistons to retract the block and the pistons. So basically, what we have done is we have made something like this, where it extends and retracts, but it doesn't grab the block in front. And we need to do that here. So go out to one here, add a 1 tick delay repeater going into a block, which is going to go into a torch with 3 ticks, 2 ticks, and redstone. So we basically made falling edge monostable circuits. And what that means is when you let go of the power, this is going to send a 1 tick pulse in here. Okay, so that's it for this side's extender. Let me show you how it works. If we press the button, it's going to come out and go back in, and the wall is going to close. Now let's do the other side's extender. Or actually, before we do that, and close this bottom place completely off, we are going to add the monostable circuit, which is going to shove the glass blocks in place from below, because it's going to be very hard to do that afterwards. So we want to add 2 blocks under here with torches on the side. Then you want to put a block here with redstone on top, a block there, and it's going to be powered through repeaters with redstone behind. So basically this repeater is going to unpower this torch, this repeater is going to power this redstone, which unpowers the torch, the other torch here. Let's make it daytime. And this is going to be hooked up to another monostable circuit. So you want to have 4 ticks and 3 ticks, a torch on the end, and redstone here. And now this is a falling edge monostable circuit, and that might seem a little weird because you want the pulse to come on the rising edge, because the pistons are going out on the rising edge and you want the pulse to come down. But the reason is that this is going to be powered from it's going to be powered by default, but when we provide power to the system, it's going to cut the power, and on the falling edge, it's going to give power. Oh, this is confusing. I'm sorry, but yeah. Anyways, so that's it. When you send in power here to this piston, it's going to cut the power, which is going to send a pulse. Yeah, that's how it is. Okay, now let's do the extender here on this side. Let's go back to the cyan wall. And in order to avoid interference here, we want a 1 tick delay repeater. And that's actually also good because the wall blocks here are 1 tick off. This one comes first and then this one. So it's just good that this is 1 tick after. Then, to avoid this repeater powering this redstone dust, we're using a block, going into redstone, going up, and make sure to block it off. Go over 2 more blocks like that, up, and up again. Then that is going to go up to glowstone, and over like that. And we're basically mirroring this side here. So go up here, to redstone, 4 tick delay repeater, and don't forget to add the block updating stuff for the below pistons, you want to get redstone down here. 3 blocks, repeater on 1 tick, redstone dust, go around to the front, add a piston with a block in front, come here, add a 2-tick delay repeater, going up again, and down into this square. Then we want to add the monostable circuit, so it goes into a torch, 3-tick delay repeater, 2 ticks here, going into redstone with the torch on the end. So now we're basically done. The only thing we have left to do is to add the top part's monostable circuit. If we press the button, you can see it's going to show out the bottom blocks, but we need to add the top one. And we're adding that from this side because this side is full of the white circuit. So let's go back to the line wall, and you want to take a signal from here on at 3 ticks, and then go up here from the glowstone and out, and have a torch on there, redstone down there, and this is basically your standard rising edge 1-tick monostable circuit. You have a torch and a 3-tick delay repeater. It's going to be going into this torch through this dot of redstone into 1-tick delay repeater. It's going to be powering this redstone. And now we are done. So if we press the button, let's see, what should I do wrong? Actually, I don't think I did anything wrong. No, see, this one has a bug due to the 1.3 server thing. Sometimes because of lag, stuff doesn't work like as it should, which is kind of weird, but I hope that's going to get fixed. Before, that was only a problem on servers, but now it's a problem everywhere. See, it works fine.